Annika Sala. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, thank you. Very good. Thank you. And you?
I'm great. I'm super excited for this. And just before we press record, Annika also said that a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, "What? You do that?" So, straight off the bat, I worked with Annika on this film, The Last Kumite, in Germany a few years ago. And I always knew Annika was into like movies and fighting and stunts and acting. So I started doing some research, and all of a sudden I find that she does jazz and ballet and musical theater and singing, and on top of that all of this martial arts stuff. Where did it all start? Did you first do the musical theater and dancing and then martial arts, or was it martial arts and like how did it happen? Because I was like,
Yes, I know. Well, martial arts I always like to do. So my father was always into sports, and my family it's kind of like they just love sports. And my sister did kickboxing too, but at that time I thought it's boring and too brutal. So I grew up with watching Jackie Chan and Mulan, my favorite Disney figure. And yes, this I think this was like the beginning of the inspiration about martial arts. But I was always also into singing and dancing and acting. So this was my main dream to become an actress. So yeah, I did a trainee. Do you say it like this? For a couple of years in Hamburg for theater musical actress. So I'm actually a professional trained theater musical actress. So I had for several years singing classes, dancing, ballet, jazz, step. How do you say it with the shoes, the sound?
is that tap?
Yeah, tap, right. Tap.
I was like, tap? I don't
Yes.
know.
And acting. Yes, so yes, this is what I did. And of course, during my training there, we were supposed to create some choreographies for dance moves. So, and at that point, that started that I said, okay, I want to combine the movement of dancing with martial arts. And then I started to watch movies, old movies with women in there, like Michelle Yeoh, and I started to copy their movements without knowing actually what they're doing. So, and then I was copying it and putting into my choreography of dance, the dance choreography. So this is when it started like becoming more, getting more into the kung fu, Chinese kung fu instead of only kickboxing, for example.
They all complement each other really well. When I was learning martial arts, I think, okay, because I did a lot of sports, I was like, thank God I have some footwork and coordination. But the flexibility part, that was tough. So did you feel as though you had a huge advantage over everyone just because you had so many different backgrounds where you're like, oh, I can use this, I can use that?
Well, I was never flexible actually. So I worked on my flexibility very, very hard. It took me years to get into the split. So if people are saying you can get the split in 6 weeks, it wasn't me. So it took me 5 years. So, and of course, I have to do it every day and to stretch every day. So I keep it, but it was a hard way or a long way to get there. But yes, I was. That's me. I'm curious about sports, about people, about places, and I think if you are curious and have an open mind, you can do everything. So, and the beautiful thing is that somehow everything comes together. And it's the same with a musical theater actress. So I was like, oh yeah, I like to sing, I like to dance, I like to act. So this is combined all together. You have a voice. So this voice you can use for talking and for singing. You have a heartbeat that gives you that beat, a rhythm, and you have the body that you can express yourself during dancing or doing martial arts. So we have it all, and yeah, this is what I like to do, just to combine what I have as a human being and being able to express myself with that what I have.
Hmm.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. And one thing that stood out once I went and I was trying to get some more information about you, the first thing I saw before anything else was, oh, by the way, my iPad's down here. So just when I'm looking down, the first thing I saw was a quote you had that said, "Why save your dreams for sleep when you could be living your dreams? That's the way I approach life. Everything I do with my full heart." And I
Yes.
thought, wow. And now hearing you say all of this, how everything comes together, express yourself, through different ways. Were you always like that? Did you always think that way? Or did you have certain experiences that changed? Because that's an amazing way to think, honestly.
Yes, well, I think we were all born with a purpose. And I call it, you can call it purpose or vision or dream, you know? So that dream we have in us for a reason. And we know this dream when we are little and we are not afraid to say it and to stand up for it. But as soon as we get older, we go into the school, we have parents that tells us what is right or wrong systems and everything. So you start changing, you forget your dream, or it gets quieter and quieter and quieter. And then that's what happened to me, right? So I knew I always wanted to be an actress, but as soon as I grew up, then the people said, "Come on, you can't earn money of it. Why you? Oh, of course, maybe this is the only thing you can do. You look pretty, you can be like an actress, and that's it." So this was actually a trigger point for me earlier, that I said, no, I want to show you that I can also be smart instead of only looking good. So those things came together, and I just forgot my dream, and it went down somewhere. And then I started to study international law and business. Also something that a lot of people don't know. And
So
I
on
have
top of it, you're a lawyer and businessman woman.
I have a bachelor of laws, actually. I do.
Remember when
So
I asked, is there anything you can't do? Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes. So, but this was like, I knew there I have a psychology. This is interesting for me because I still knew I want, somehow the calling in my heart was like still maybe get the creative stuff like acting. So psychology was interesting. Knowing the law is also interesting. And then I went into the women's right, which affected me directly. So then I got into this kind of law thing, and I thought that's it. But I lost myself mentally and physically. So I didn't know where to go. I had no purpose, no nothing. I don't know. I lived my life just like every day, and living for the weekends, drinking, smoking, everything, like very bad, very bad. I couldn't. I thought I'm healthy by doing some sports in the fitness gym, but I couldn't even. I wasn't flexible at all. And at one point, I just thought, after my Bachelor of Laws, where I could show to my family and friends that I can be more than just looking pretty, I went to India, to Asia. And this is where everything started to change. So I met a guru. And the first time in my life, I started doing meditation and breathing exercise and everything. So, very something, a whole new world opened up to me. And I spent there 6 months, and I got sick very bad, very bad. This is 6 years ago.
Mm.
I got sick very bad, and I knew this is like it has something to do with dying and getting reborn again. But I didn't knew it at that time. I knew there's something happening in there, and since that point, I started to feel again my body, my heart gets louder. I start to listen to it again and say, what am I doing here? Why I am here? What is happening? Is this all what you want? You know, is this is this it? I mean, those questions are very deep and everyone has it. But the question is, are you willing to listen to it and willing to go and ask and answer those questions for yourself? And it is hard, but I did. So then I went back to Germany and I started with the master, but I never finished it. So then I never finished it because since then I applied to the school in Hamburg to be a musical theater actress and they took me. So then I moved from Wolfsburg in Germany to Hamburg, and then I started my acting, singing, and dancing career there. And this is when everything started to change, and I started to take more care about myself, my body, and my heart and my mind. Yes. So it's a long way, but it's worth it.
Wow. Wow. The fact that you, wow. I mean, that's like a blessing and a curse, because on one side you're like, let me show you that I'm more than what you say I am. But then on the other side, like you said, it's trying to prove it,
Yes.
because you already know, but then we feel as though people may not know. So we go out of our way to do something. How long did it take you to go from feeling lost to, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want?
Well, the first time where I really started to, where I needed the changes when I went to India, and it's, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. So this was the first time I said, okay, I need to change something. And it was pretty early in my life, so other people maybe start later, but I somehow it started early with me. What I wanted was actually recalling it again because I knew it. I remember the child of me. So this is maybe something that is also helpful for the people. What was your dream when you were a child? What was the thing you always loved to do or you were always saying? Like, is it really true? Can you sit down and listen to it and breathe and see what does make it with you? What feelings come up when you start remembering that little girl or little boy? Because they're actually right, and we don't want to listen to it. So I did this, and I knew that acting is that one that I want to do, or in a film industry, right? So I knew that this is where I want to go. So of course, it's not easy. Everyone can say this, but there are moments where you are questioning yourself, or every day also. I mean, but when you have a vision, I wrote it down. I wrote down what I want from life, and I read it every day in the morning when I wake up, and before I go to sleep. I read it every single day for years, and I sleep. Before I go to sleep, I go with those words into the sleep, and when I wake up, this is the first thing that I do. So this keeps me rolling, going for it, because I know, even though, oh my God, I'm also depressed, and I'm also sad, and I also don't know where to go. Maybe I say, oh my, this is bullshit. I don't know. I don't want it anymore, but then I remember myself and I say, yes, I want it. This is the will that I have, the fire in the heart and in the eyes, how the Chinese people say, show me the fire in the eyes. And then you have it again, then you found it, because you don't let your thoughts drive you. So you let your heart shows you your way. So this is what we need to do more. The thoughts are there, yes, but leave them. Leave them. Don't, yeah, listen to your heart. Sit down and breathe. I do this all the time. It sounds like, oh my God, this is so, I don't know if that works, but it works. So when was the last time you put your hand on your heart and just listen to the beat of your heart? I think a lot of people never did it, I think. And this is what it took me. It takes me still time. So there are still times in my life where I think, oh my God, what am I doing actually? And then I remember myself, what I want from life, and then everything is good again.
That's how simple it is, though. People think that if you want some change, you have to do something so crazy and so out of this world, when it's really just write down what you actually want, look at it, learn how to find yourself. It's just very simple things that everyone can do. It's not easy to do it, but it's very simple. And a lot of people just think, oh, this is too simple. It can't be that simple. And you're proof that it's really that simple. Not easy, but simple. And I find that so incredible and inspiring, because I know a lot of people, myself, who are in that similar position where they're doing something just to show it to someone else, and they're struggling to find themselves. And I just think that's really, really, really incredible. And I think that dives perfectly into my next question about having resilience and finding yourself and pushing through and asking yourself why. Because I don't know if you guys have seen Annika's Instagram, but I watch those videos and I go, dang, the training looks intense. I saw the video where you're doing the splits and your master is stepping on your thighs, and I'm like, that's some serious stuff. How did you find that path, and how does your experiences previously with having the mental resilience and why I'm doing this help you?
Yes, so I told you about that when I was in the training for the musical theater. I had
Hmm.
to build choreographies, dance choreography. So this is when I started to watch the movies with Michelle Yeoh, the old Chinese movies. And then a friend told me, well, there is a monastery in Germany, the European temple in Germany where Shi Hengyi is in. So he said, just give it a try, take a look, maybe it's something for you. So I went there and I loved it. I was there and I took one seminar, then the next and the next, and I did it for years. I think 3 years before I went the first time to China. So when I was there, I was like training also online every day. I was if I do something, I do it very, very like 100%. And
Hmm.
a lot of people say, but how can you do so many things in once? But it's only like a couple of minutes in a day when you just have to organize yourself very well and then let it flow, you know? And well, yes, I asked them if I can stay there 3 times, and they told me no. And then I ask again, please, I would like to work on a kitchen even. They said no. Then I ask the third time and I say, okay, this is the last time I ask. Please, I just want to learn from you. No, it's a monastery. Only monks can stay, men, everything. Okay, I have to respect it. Then the third time, and I said to myself, if they say no, I will find another way. So then I start researching on the internet, and a friend of mine showed me like a link, and she said, look at this, this is maybe something for you. And I said yes. I went there, applied there, talked to them, and a couple months later they told me you can come. And I said what? And then I definitely, after like having the message, couple hours after, booked the flight, I make everything happen, the visa, and then I flew to China. And the girl told me, never, no one was so fast like you. I came prepared with everything. I printed out all the informations, and because if I want something, I do it. So there's no doubt. So I was in China and training. Yes, training. Crazy, like the old films from Jackie Chan. And why do I want to, or what was the motivation is I felt in love with Kung Fu in Germany while I was in the monastery in Germany. And I was always curious about why I don't see any woman or a master as a woman teaching that. And um, I really wanted to learn this wisdom, like every day, like they do with the men's, right? In the morning, waking up, training, eating, training, eating. So why there's not, is it not possible for women? So I knew, well, in Germany it's not possible, but in China it actually is, and it's really not that unusual actually. So this is a normal school where monks are working in there, and they teach you. So it's just something that maybe a lot of people don't know. I didn't know. For me, it was like, oh my God, this is very special or something new. But no, you can actually go there and they teach you, and you can sleep there and get all the wisdom. And they even touch you, and you get the corrections, and you can do the training there. So yeah, yeah. So I was there, and then I had the everyday training in the morning. You wake up. It depends if it's summer or winter. At 5:30 in the morning or at 7 in the morning. So yeah, you wake up, have 1 hour of Tai Chi, then you have breakfast, then you do temple duty, which means cleaning your room or outside the temple or school area. Then you have another session, mostly from 9 till 11. It depends. Sometimes 8:30, sometimes 9:30 till 12 or 11:30. Then you have a break from 12 till 2 or 2:30, where you eat lunch. And then you have the next session till 6, and then you have your dinner. And then lights out has to be at 9:30 p.m. or 10 p.m. And then the next day the same. So you have always the same food, which is like a soup, rice, vegetables, and sometimes eggs. And every day in the morning you have Tai Chi. And then every day in the week it changes from Sanda to Shaolin forms to Mei Hua Shuan to different style China, different styles. And they see how the weather is. So if it's raining or it's too hot outside, they adapt their training. And that's very nice. So it sounds very hard, but being there with the masters guiding you, knowing about the energy of the group and what you need, they really do it very nicely, and you can really keep on with the training.
So that's like 5-6 hours a day just training, right? Or more.
Yeah, 6 till 8.
Wow. How was it your first time doing it? Was it a complete shock? It was a lot harder than you thought? If I go, I'm just gonna tell Shifu, yo, the splits stepping on me? No, 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 no. How was it the first time?
Well, I don't know if I can't compare myself maybe with other people, because I like to do a lot of sports. And when I did the training for the musical theater, we have all day dancing and everything. So for me, this is actually very important to move a lot during the day. So I was used to move a lot, but of course not 6 till 8 hours a day. So I was a little bit afraid of if I can keep up with that, since I have also injured my leg back then. And but I could, because, and everyone can, because as I said, the shifus really look at the season, at the energy of the people, and you always can decide how far you want to go. So if you want to push it more, or if you say not today, less, or whatever, of course they're always there to say, okay, one more, but at the end you decide. At the end you have to listen to your body and what you can do. So this is what I have learned a lot over there. So I'm like the kind of character that I want to give it all every day, every day, every day. But you can't. And then I was like, oh, the yesterday I was so good at it, and today I can't even move my leg up till here. So, and this is what I've learned, that don't compare yourself how you were yesterday and what you want to reach, right? To have a vision where you want to go, it's important, but don't compare yourself now in there, because then you lose it. So if today is that what I can give, and I have to be honest to myself, then this is it. And I still make progress. But if I'm still with my thoughts about yesterday I did so much better, today I can't do it, so then I have a different attitude towards my training, and then I'm not going to move forward. And this is what I have learned a lot. And this is something not so easy to do, because you have a lot of guys that maybe have much more training or experience already, like years of martial arts, and not comparing yourself with that, even as a woman compared to a man. So it's not easy to stay with you and be centered and grounded. So this is something that I really appreciate, and I have learned a lot over there.
I think that's spot on. Like, I know, especially for me, the thing I struggled with the most was the reverse kick, like the back hook kick. That took forever for me to learn. Do it, and one day I would do it, but then the next day I couldn't do it, and I'd be so harsh on myself. And then now, well, I only had a good training session if I can do it. And then once I did it once, it was like, okay, well, 2 times, 3 times. So the fact that you're saying, just because you could do something yesterday and today you're not able to, it doesn't mean that, all your progress is that resonates a lot with me. So thank you so much for that one. Hearing the schedule and everything, a lot of training, you're cleaning, you're helping out. It seems a lot of that is just focused on finding who you are as a person. When you entered the first time, what was your mindset? And then how many times have you been now? Is it 4 or 5?
Yes, 4.
4 or 5? Okay. So what was your mindset day 1 entering? And then what is your mindset on day 5 leaving? Like, how much has it changed in that time frame?
Yeah, a lot, really a lot. I thought that I have already a very good mental state, but being there, and I mean, the training shows you so much about yourself. As you said, it's all about finding yourself or getting yourself better, knowing yourself not better through the training. And at the beginning, when I entered, it was like, oh my God, can I make it? What about if other people are better than me? What if I can't do it? So I had a lot of doubts and a lot of thinking of comparison. I want to be good, I want to be good. I want to be good. And then I've been now already a couple of times there. And now I'm relaxed. I know that I'm good. I'm good and perfect the way I am. And for other people, it takes more time. And for other people, it goes faster. And that's totally fine because we are all on our way. We have all different dreams or purpose to go. So it's completely fine where you are right now. So and this day or the stays in China helped me so much also in my acting. A lot of people say, oh, why now I only see you in China training Kung Fu. What about your acting? And acting is actually just about knowing your true self, And when you know yourself, then everything else is easy because you don't play it. You are that character. And you can only be if you know yourself. So and this helps me a lot for when I have scripts or lines to say. I use a lot of that mentality I have learned in China to implement into my training, working on a scene or on a character. And because of course, when a lot of people are there, the cameras are all around and everything, it's so easy to lose yourself again and to be there, oh my God, what can they see or whatever. But you have to stay just grounded with you. And then it's easy. It comes like a flow. And that I didn't had before. I was very nervous. I was focusing on how do they see me? Am I doing it right? What if I do something wrong? All those kind of thoughts gone. So because you know who you are and you are available, you are not, you are Axel and I'm Annika and we are eye to eye, heart to heart, human to human. So that you are not more valuable than I am and I'm not under you than you, right? We are the same. So this is something that is very important also in acting. And yeah, that's how I feel that everything what you do and what you do with your full heart, because you feel you have to go and you feel you have to express and learn, that comes together at the end for what you needed. And it doesn't matter if you are an actor or a singer or a lawyer or whatever, it comes together and you can use it all the time for your daily life.
I love how you went, if you're an actor, lawyer, or singer. Oh yeah, I'm all three, by the way.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a singer, but I like to do it and I have the knowledge, but yes, I'm not working on that.
Wow. I agree. I really agree. The fact that you're able to just be still and take everything in and not shy away or put people on a pedestal and stuff, especially when it's sports, when you're competing, when you see the opposition team, or in your case, you're training, you see people who've been doing it longer, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, can I do this? Can I still? And the fact that you've learned to just be like, okay, calm down. That
Yeah.
that is a great skill that I also still am working to master. And I think, like you said, everything falls into place perfectly because now you've started with one skill, you've developed 10, and now I think it's picking up at the right time because I've seen that on social media, your videos are doing amazing. And I'm thinking now, hearing this, if this happened, let's say 5 years ago, it
Mhm.
would have been chaos. And now that this is happening perfectly at the perfect time, how are you dealing with everything from social media? From whenever you post something, no matter how pretty it is, someone is going to say something bad. That's just the reality. How do you deal with that? And how do you deal with staying level headed? Because it's very easy nowadays. The more followers you get, the more you're like, but you do a perfect job just staying equal.
When we were doing or shooting the last Kumite, I
Mm,
applied actually for the woman's role. At that time, I was doing already martial arts, but I never recorded myself. So then the casting director told me, yeah, send me some footage. And I didn't had anything. So I was at that time I was focusing on Wing Chun. So I was doing some Wing Chun punches, but I didn't know what they need. And
mm,
so they said it's very interesting, but I don't know, this is not exactly what we're looking for. So and then it was like, oh, but we need a first AD. Then I called them and say, I can do that job too. And they were like, what? So kind of like you too. But at the end, I got the chance and I was doing
yeah.
the job as first AD with your father, which was amazing for me, a very nice
I
lesson. And I
didn't know
learned.
that. I didn't know you applied. Oh,
Yeah, and
wow.
a lot of people don't know. Actually, only Wayne and a couple of people know that. Yes. Well, I
Wow.
was there and then I looked at it and I said, oh my God, I can do this. But
Mm,
I've just never recorded myself doing it. And then I went to China and I said, well, now I just give it a try. So let's see what happens if I record myself and post it on social media. And it went viral.
mm,
So, and only because I posted things that I really love to do. And it was not kind of like you said, not pretty at all. I was sweating everywhere, looking like I don't know what. I just posted how it was and or how it is.
mm,
And then I got so many clicks and so many likes and everything. So I was, of course, scrolling and listened to the comments, and there were like very bad comments also in there. So at the beginning, I was like, why do you have, what are you doing with your time writing like so shitty comments on it? And why
mm,
am I reading this and thinking about it? So at that moment, I say, stop it, Annika. You will never make it perfect for everyone. So it's important that I share what I love. And if you like it, you can follow me and you can like it. If not, leave me alone. So that's it. It's like how it is. And
mm,
then I stop reading the messages. And sometimes I go through and then I click on hearts because there are a lot of people actually that write very nice stuff. So when I said to myself, I don't focus on the negative. Actually, I got a lot of nice comments.
mm,
So that somehow the energy changed, and then I got a very nice comments from all over the world, and it's amazing to see also from little kids. So the parents write me and say, my daughter has now your picture on her bed hanging there and looking at you because they want to be like you. And this is actually something that this is for me beautiful. This is something very beautiful that the girls see they can be elegant and strong at the same time, but not compared to a man, but strong in a feminine way. that it's also in us, right? And we don't have to be like this gym girls, or I mean, it's okay, but it's not. I don't want to be. I'm not a man. I'm a woman, and I'm happy to be a woman, and I carry a
Mm.
lot of strength inside of me, and I can also fight. So this is something that, yeah, I inspire a lot of girls also, and women, and guys out there, and this is very beautiful, and I don't want to change that. So as I said to you, we are all available at the same level. So only because I have a couple of thousands followers, it doesn't mean that I'm now better than you are. I'm not.
Mm.
So we are available at the same level. And yeah, this is a mindset that I want to keep, even if it gets higher and higher, because we are all humans at the end. So yeah.
How did it feel knowing someone's got a poster of you on their wall? Was it more like a pressure? Like, did you feel pressured now because so many people look up to you, or did you feel more like, how did you feel? I've never had that, so I have no clue. That's why I'm asking. How did you feel?
Oh, I feel like very. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not happiness, but it's something like I know that I'm on my right way, because this is actually, of course, my dream is to be an actress, and I am, but that dream got maybe bigger in that way that I want to change something, and change the way people think and the way people maybe look at themselves. So this is something bigger, and I have the feeling that it's going into a very good direction, which leads to more self-awareness and the courage to be yourself. So yeah, when I was filming for another movie in Germany, then the camera guy took two daughters of them with him, and they saw me fighting, and they also took a picture of me, and they have it also on their how to say this kind of thing, map,
Oh, yeah.
right down.
Whoa. Yeah.
And they even came to me and say, "Oh, Annika, I would like to train with you." And those, but it's not pressure. It's not pressure. It's like it's so nice for me. It's so nice to hear that those little girls are growing up with me, seeing that it's possible, because I never had it, and I had to be that person or that human that other little girls can look up and say, "I can do that too." And a person that is just like a human being, not like something out of the world or whatever. It's
Mm.
it's incredible. Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree. I think the fact that, because in the martial arts world, if you're a woman trying to pursue it, it's not they don't think you can do it. It's more this is usually where men are, because it's people see it as very violent. People see it as more masculine than feminine. And the fact that you're there showing everyone, no, 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 I can do it. I can do it. I think it's incredible how many people you've inspired. I was going to ask you, what does success look like to you? But I think you just answered it in sharing. If I'm wrong, you can answer it more. But I think you just answered it in the fact that it's just inspiring people and letting them know, like, it's possible if you put your mind to it. And that's actually one of the things that I like the most about your Instagram. You don't just post fighting content or training content. Whenever you post something, you can see it's always got a nice balance of something really intense with either motivational music, music that people are speaking over, or quotes. How did you get the confidence to post those things?
Yeah, it's a good question, because at the beginning I was thinking of how people might think about what I'm posting, and what they might um, write, or I don't know. I was thinking about what other people think if I post it. And then in one point in China, I was like, I don't care. I don't care what other people say at that moment, if they have something negative to say, that's out. So I don't need that. And if it's something that somebody needs to see, then it's great because it opens your heart. So then I said, it doesn't matter, that's me. That's just me. I mean, what can go wrong if I just post and write the things that I feel, and how I see the world, how I feel the world. And well, yeah, this is how I did, and I still do it. So every single post, I write the quotes. I think about it, how to cut it. I film it. I have the ideas. I put the music into it, the effects or everything. It's coming from me, how I feel it, and what message I want to give to the world. So, and this is maybe the key, that I'm not looking. There are so many other great martial artists out there, and so beautiful women also that are way much better than I am. So this, but I stopped comparing, because she might started with 5, and of course she's better than I do, and she has a different direction than I do. So I stopped looking what other people do and start listening to myself and putting out what I feel outside. So that's I think the what works very well on Instagram, and the people, I think, feel it too, that I'm not faking it, or that the words are actually coming from my heart. Yes.
Certainly. What you said just there, you're not faking it. I think people can sense when someone posts something and they're like, oh, it's fake. But with yours, everything is straight to the heart. It's straight, powerful. You can watch it on repeat and just be inspired, because the stuff you do is not simple. Have you ever been like, no, 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 this is too much, I can't? Or have you always just no quit mentality, where every time you can be crying, you can be, I was going to say crying, dying, because it rhymes, but you can be crying, you can be suffering, but you just never quit? How's your mindset in that time when you do it?
Yeah, I never quit. I never. This is the last thing I would do. I mean, it's okay when you put yourself into it and you say, this is not for me. Then for me, this is not quitting, because you put yourself into it, right? And you discovered that this is not it. So that's fine. You find another way. But if I'm there because I want it. I want the discomfort. I want this discomfort because this is, I know for myself, where I grow, and in every kind of aspects in my life. So where do you get this discomfort? Mostly, if you are in sports and you have to do it, and you it is hard. It is hard, and I do cry. Yes, we have to hold Mabu for 5 minutes or longer. It's hard after 2 hours of training, right? And I cry, and I'm not the only one. There are other people that cry with me, but we are there, right? We are there, and the energy, you feel it, and you are so relieved after this. And if you can hold it, if this is what you can do, you can do everything. This is such a horrible pain in your whole body. You start breathing different, and all the thoughts in your mind, it's like a lot. But if you can handle this, you can handle everything else in your normal life. So, and this is what I want. I put myself into these situations because I want to grow. I want to see how far can I go, what am I capable of, how can I work with my mind, what is there, how can I open my heart even more, right? And when I see the master doing it, I have him as my as the person, as the human doing those exercise. I watch him carefully, every single detail. I ask, I see, why is the hand like this? Why do we do it like this? Why is it here, or whatever? And I just try to soak it in. And when I have it, I do my own movement out of it. And I think this is what matters. You can look at it, you learn it, you have the steps, but then the magic happens when you have the courage to make it your own.
Yeah, that, I'm not surprised people cry. That that training looks very very, very intense.
Yes.
But you have such great attention to detail. You watch every single thing.
Yes.
Were you always like that? Or was it
Yes.
something that, oh, really? I only started being very focused when I actually take something very seriously, which I must ask, when did you start taking all of this training seriously? There's training where you're trying your best, but you're thinking, oh, it's just training. And then there's training where it's, I'm going to make my life. I'm going to give every single thing. Like how you said, you're putting yourself in positions where if your motivation is fake or shallow or anything, you're going to crumble. When did you start taking that seriously?
I've done like volleyball before or dance and everything, but you know, with it's like the penguin. Do you say penguin in English? Yeah. It's like clumsy walking outside, but as soon as this one, you know, the one he's in the ocean, he's very flexible, fast and beautiful. And because this animal is in his element. So I did, of course, different things like boxing or volleyball or other different kind of sports, but I never put like that focus into it like I do now with Kung Fu, because I have exactly that feeling. When a couple of years ago, when I came to the temple in Europe, in Germany, I felt it immediately. I just felt that this is it,
Hmm.
and it is worth it to go with that instinct. And when I saw then on live as a first AD by the last Kumite what they were doing, and I knew I can do that too, and I can combine my acting skills with my martial arts skills and being like in the genre of action, that's amazing. I was never thinking about it. Never. I don't know why. I was like separating myself of doing my kung fu and being an actress, but I mean that goes one and one too. It works perfectly fine. So then I started after actually the last committee a couple of years ago, saying, no, I have to do it like now very focus and implement it into my acting. So this is kind of like, yeah, where I see myself also in the action genre, right? And I think I fit there as personality very well. So I have found this for me, and this is what I want to develop more.
What did you notice in terms of your growth when you started taking your training seriously? Because a lot of people want to achieve great things, but they don't train with the same intent that you should. And I mean, you're amazing at what you do. What are some things that you noticed in terms of growth, in terms of wisdom, in terms of attitude, so that people who are watching, they're like, oh, this is actually what training at 100% looks like. It's not just showing up, it's looking at the small detail, it's going home and doing your own study.
It's not only the physical, like working out, but also what does this with your mind? And this is where a lot of people stop, like physical, body, and mind, which is already very nice to have the mind, you know, to work with your mind and understand. But a lot of people, and I think 99% of every single one, forgets the heart. And that's why I keep saying heart, heart, heart all the time, because the mind, the body, and the heart, and this is what I forgot too. And when you start listening to the heartbeat and you feel it again, and you open your heart with love, this is it. So how do you get there? I was in that point too. So how do I listen to my heart? How is it possible? You can't take it with your hands. So you have to feel it. You have to just sit down and breathe through your belly and listen to your heartbeat. And this makes the difference, I tell you. The way you connect to yourself in a different level, in a different way, than just saying, okay, I'm working out because I want to look good. I'm working out because my kicks has to be better. Okay, when you say, okay, I'm doing this exercise, which leads that my mentality gets better. I have more discipline. Okay, this helps me hold the mabu 5 minutes. I'm stronger. I go above. I'm in my discomfort, right? But what makes with your heart? Compassion, love to your master, to your friend, to your family, to the nature. So it is so important. Love to yourself. This is it. So even if you can't do it yet, it doesn't mean that you can't do it later, but still you love yourself always. So you look at the mirror and say, I love you. So many people can't do it, can't do that because they start laughing, they can't look at their own eyes. So, and this is what makes the difference, what I believe, truly believe.
I completely agree. Now, the unfortunate thing is we're running out a bit of time, so I have to be very selective with what I ask next, because I'm learning so much, and I'm sure the people who are listening are learning so much. So I need to think very carefully. Okay. So in first, two questions. First, are you living your childhood's dream? The second is, over the years of your training, what are the top 3 most important things that you learned that if you were to restart your training, you would do them first?
Mhm. Okay, great questions. If I'm living my shy dream, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I am totally. Now I can say yes. I ask myself these questions or these questions every year since, oh well, a lot of years. And a lot of time I couldn't say it. So I was like, no. So what do I need that my answer can be yes? And I wrote it down. As simple as it sounds, it is like this because you write it down, you have it there, and it's out, and you can work with what you feel, you know? So yes, I can really say that I found my purpose and I found my place. And of course, it's evolving, right? It's like it's changing here and there and everything, but you know, I know where I want to go, and it's it's such a nice feeling because it gives you like a lot of the pressure goes away, you are grounded, and you know just who you are and where you go. And a lot of people may say things that they don't like, they feel triggered by your presence, but you are just fine, and that's it, you know. It's the self-confidence that comes with it, also knowing what you want and knowing yourself. But it's still, you know, a process. It never ends. But I have a vision, and this vision is there. So yes. And 3 things, you said 3 things about the training.
Yeah, 3, was it 3? I mean, the more the merrier, but I don't think we have 3 hours, so 3
Mhm.
things that you learned that you realized how important they are, that if you were to restart, these are the 3 things you're doing first.
First of all, having a routine. So you need to have a routine. If you don't have a routine, you will never make it because you need the consistency. You need the consistency. It doesn't matter, and small steps. So a routine, write it down step by step, not like writing down very big steps that are like just little step by step and by step. Breathing while exercising or while talking or while everything you do, breathing. We forget to breathe. So this is very important during the exercise to breathe because then you calm down, and of course to open your heart while you are training, and that means knowing why are you doing this training, why do you put yourself in this state. So if you know your why, everything is simple. and it's much easier to go through that. And then you don't see it as pain or something that you have to do. It is necessary and you love what you do. So it's perspective makes the difference. So instead of saying, "Oh my God, I need to wake up early in the morning at 5:30," there are people that are sleepy and don't want. So why are you here? Why? And if you can't answer that, just save your money and go somewhere else and find something that really drives you.
What an amazing note to end. Guys, I'm sorry that this is only about an hour. If you guys are like me, I have 50 billion more questions. Annika, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for coming on. For those who are feeling inspired, who want to see your work, to see what I'm talking about when I said you do some crazy stuff, where can they find you?
On Instagram, yes. I do also have TikTok, but I don't work with TikTok so much. I started with YouTube, but still on YouTube I show more my work behind and in front of the camera. But yeah, I have a website too, so they can look at it. But yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. I'll link it all down below for you guys to see. Annika, thank you so much.
Thank you, Axel.